Hello everyone, so we're going to be making a quick video today, just showcasing why there's no shock cav in Total War Warhammer 2. And the reason for this is actually quite simple. Shock cav do not counter infantry. Specifically here, we're going to be using one unit, Chaos Knights with Lances, which are presumably anti-infantry. They have a really high charge bonus, really high armor, and they have really high mass. So on paper, they're actually perfect to killing infantry, to be perfectly honest. And Chaos Knight Lances are actually in a very weird spot because compared to, for example, Blood Knights or Grail Knights, they don't have an anti-large bonus and they don't have armor piercing. So in some sense, their role is actually quite limited to killing infantry. And unlike Dragon Princes, they don't benefit from healing or martial mastery like the superior stats you would get. So they can't trade cost effectively against other cav. They can only do so on the charge. So let's just see how good Chaos Knights with Lances are against Greatswords. And Greatswords, I picked them because they're arguably the worst Greatsword unit, other than Graveguard, but Graveguard don't rout. And, you know, for balance purposes, vampire counts, you pay for the Lord. So the Lord is the reason why vampire count units are so cost ineffective. So you're getting kind of like a penalty for picking units in as vampire counts, whereas with Empire you do not. So this is the genuine cost of these stats. But if you were to compare, oh man, my Dwarven. If you were to compare great swords to, for example, hammers, they're obviously much worse than the Swordmasters of Hoeth, and worse still than Bestigors, which are right here. They're still worse than Bestigors. So, as you can see, less charge, less attack, less speed, less melee attack, less HP. And I think they have the same amount of armor. And they don't have Primal Fury, so that's a big thing. So, you know, no bonuses, and also Chaos Knights also have no passives, so this is actually quite a decent test here. So we're going to put this on very hard and just see how it goes, okay? So I'm going to be doing a variety of exams here. The first one is going to be just charging into melee. The second one is going to be cycle charging, and then the third one will be charging in with a captain, just to provide a little bit of morale bonus and melee defense, and see how that goes. So on the first exam, as you can tell, I'm just charging into melee and not cycle charging. And I just wanted to illustrate here that Chaos Knights with Lances can't beat Great Swords with one charge only. They have to cycle charge. And I just want to see here how cost effective Chaos Knights with Lances would be. So as you can see, Great Swords traded about 2 for 1, so they did twice the amount of damage than they took in. So now that we've convincingly established that Chaos Knight Lances have to cycle charge in order to defeat Great Swords, let's see just how effective they have to be, or how they trade when they finally cycle charge against Great Swords. Now, one of the things that I do is I don't immediately cycle charge away, and that's because the charge goes beyond after they've made contact with the infantry, and so I keep my mouse hovered under the unit, and once they go from the state of charging to taking damage, I pull them out and then cycle charge. So that's how I proceed. So because they traded evenly, we can basically conclude that Chaos Knights with lances, i.e. one of the most one-dimensional units that is solely used for cavalry charges. It can't fight monsters, it can't fight other cavalry, it can't fight lords, it can only fight infantry, and because it is a shock cavalry, it can only do damage on the charge. But as we've just established, the only thing that it's able to do is trade 1-to-1 against the unit the unit type it supposedly counters. Let's just see how Medieval 2 handles such variables. Sorry, I have COVID. Fuck.
Let the putrefaction commence.